Welcome to the website of the British Titanic Society. It was from here at berth 4344 in Southampton that the White Star Line's newest and largest ocean liner, RMS Titanic, set sail on her first and last Atlantic voyage to New York on the 10th of April 1912. Heralded at the time as being the largest and grandest ocean liner afloat and practically unsinkable, she is arguably the most famed amongst Britain's maritime past, and the story of her short life reads like classic literature. Built as the pride of Belfast's Island and Wolf shipyard alongside her sister Olympic, every care and consideration went into her design, construction and fitting out. An early publicity brochure said of her, "The Titanic represents the highest attainment in naval architecture and marine engineering." When completed, she was the toast of Liverpool, where she was registered. The White Star Line's most celebrated and experienced captain, Edward John Smith, nicknamed the Millionaire's Captain, was appointed her commander. Most of her crew was from Southampton and were among the very best the company had. While the passenger list encapsulated nearly every country in the world, from glittering celebrities to humble emigrants seeking a new life. Yet, on a cold, dark night, only 4 days into her Atlantic passage, tragedy befell the liner as she was mortally wounded after striking the infamous iceberg. In a cruel twist of fate, her safety systems, once heralded as making her practically unsinkable, were overwhelmed by flooding, while her lifeboats were wholly insufficient. Titanic lived for only 2 hours and 40 minutes, which ended with her calamitous destruction and the loss of over 1,500 of the 2,200 souls aboard. News of the disaster reverberated around the world, but even before the last of the lifeboats had reached the rescue ship Carpathia, RMS Titanic had already been propelled into modern myth, ensuring the story of her short life and those who sailed aboard her would never be forgotten. The legend that became Titanic was born of countless stories of selfish bravery, heroism, heartbreak, and even cowardice. In addition to the official records of the disaster, personal accounts were passed from mother to daughter, father to son, and today's generation of descendants help us all to ensure that memories of that fateful night to remember would never be forgotten. Numerous films and books have been released describing the tragedy. But how closely does Hollywood's description of the disaster mirror reality? And why does this subject continue to draw the imagination from all over the world? Even today, there are so many fascinating and undiscovered aspects of the ship, and passengers and crew that are still being learned. In 1987, the British Titanic Society was formed from a dedicated body of people eager to answer these and other questions about the disaster. And today it has one of the foremost gatherings of Titanic experts and enthusiasts in the world. The Society publishes a quarterly journal called the Atlantic Daily Bulletin, so named after the newsletter issued by the White Star Line to its passengers. It contains a wide selection of features, in-depth up-to-the-minute research and members' letters, covering a wide variety of aspects, from planning to passengers, engines to emigration, disaster to discovery. Along with the journal, the Society holds an annual convention where members can meet and enjoy all manner of activities, excursions and discussions, all in the company of like-minded people. Part of the convention is even broader, and there is an annual public exhibition giving rare access to private collections of historic artefacts and documents. There is a collector's fair with books, artwork, models, and a wide variety of original marine antiques. The convention programme also includes lectures given by renowned historians and maritime experts, where members are invited to ask questions and further their understanding. But there is more than just Titanic. flagship of the White Star Line as an icon of the Edwardian maritime era, we cover the great age of luxury liners from Brunel's Great Britain to Cunard's Queen Mary and much more. So, how do you join the British Titanic Society? The easiest way is to go to the membership section of our website at www.britishtatanicsociety.com/membership, and from here you can pay online and join immediately, or alternatively, there is a membership application form that can be downloaded from the site. Just complete it and send it with your membership fee to the Society's address. Titanic's importance in maritime and world history comes from the many factors that led to disaster and the reactions that followed. When Titanic disappeared beneath the waves, a legend was born, as powerful now as it was back then, even after 100 years. With so much still to learn and understand, that her testimony holds the imagination which gets stronger with time. I remember once coming down to Southampton to see the Engineers Monument with Fred, and we stood there at the side. And Fred was almost moved to tears at the time because it represented our great industrial past, and Fred wanted to know more and everything he could about the Titanic. I also remember once buying him a book on the subject, only to find out in his library that maybe he had about 20 more books of the same subject, very close to his heart, as I say. And I think Fred would be very pleased that I was here today, in his name, in his memory, to link it to another great legacy, the great Titanic past. Everyone is welcome, so come along and join us and step back into an era of luxury ships, opulence and imagination, and we hope you enjoy the voyage.